Hey, do you see this arrow here?
Yes.
It points to this track in particular.
Yep.
Number 48, we would like to know who made that track. 49, which foot is that? This specific foot. Number 50 is what gate is this animal in? And then over here, just next door, do you see this track right here?
Yep.
There's a group of these animals that came through. Number 51, I would like to know who came first, this group of animals or this animal. Okay?
Yeah.
Over here, number 52, do you see this track right here?
Yep.
Would like to know who made that track. And that's it. Wild boar. You can see our nice big wide set dew claws back there. 48, 49, and 50. Who is this?
Badger.
Badger. Beautiful.
Badger.
Now, which foot is it?
Right hind.
Right hind. Why is it a right hind?
Because it is. I'm holding a camera, so I'm passing it on. It's a sloping heel.
You get a right front.
Okay, sloping heel pad. Will someone talk more about that?
Of course, you see the
Go ahead.
the long nail prints,
Long claws
claws in the front foot.
Of the front foot.
And
Beautiful.
so then it only can be the hind foot.
Great.
And often they don't show the claws in the hind foot, but often they do.
Great.
And well, you have to see from there.
Yeah,
This is right and this is left.
Beautiful.
So,
Now, if we did not have this, why would we still know immediately that that is a right?
Because it's
sure.
because the toe one is
Great. So there's toe one. So, and is toe one showing very clearly in both of these? Not really, right?
No.
And if we see it here, it's the same. It's not showing very clearly, not very clearly. But even if we look at this, we can see that opposite our feet, their heel pad is larger on the outside and gets smaller on the inside, as do all of the toes, just like a small who? Like, who else does that? Bears. Great. Yeah, we don't have bears here, but it is much like a little bear track. So we just find that very asymmetrical heel pad, wide on the outside, sloping to the inside. All of the toes are doing the same thing, getting smaller, 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 and vanishing in entirety. Also, if we just look at it, we can still see a little bit of curvature, especially across that front track. So, and of course, just like our hand, the thumb is set down into the inside. And we can think about that on the hind foot as well, even though that's a foot. I always like to think about it in terms of our hands because it's the same across all your muscles.
Your own hand is always very helpful in determining tracks.
Exactly.
But then it's very confusing that the sizing is the other way around.
Sure.
That we have a little pinky and this one
Cool.
get bigger. And
With that said, what's kind of cool about it on our hand is we are actually built the same way, and you will see this over and over again in species. We have a huge thumb to contend with all this muscle, but if you look at it, we've got our fingers and then all of our palm pads here, and it gets larger and slopes down and out, down to the outside, just like we are seeing in our badger. It slopes down into the outside, getting larger on the outside, down into the outside, getting larger to the outside. Everybody see that? So again, if we just saw this right away, immediately, we could say left, boom. You can do this especially with house dogs. A lot of your wild canines are much more symmetrical, but a lot of your domestic canines have a very asymmetrical heel pad. And again, just like us, it slopes down into the outside. So you see that. Here's your four toes. This is a terrible track. But you just walk up, and if you're trying to interpret things very quickly, you look down, you see that front foot drooping down to the outside, you know immediately that's a left. Boom.
But with the toes, it's the other way around, because you said this one would be the biggest one, and they come...
And they come down. Yep.
Yeah.
So we're talking specifically about the heel pads in that case.
Yeah, that's interesting.
You use the word palm pad. You use that for both front and hind foot?
I did in this case. I mean, we could say heel pads on your hind.
Okay.
Just, I don't do that routinely.
And palm pad is okay.
But palm refers to the to our hand, of course.
And what you consider this?
Je doet het wel een middenvoetskussen.
Palm Pad.
Not the one at the beginning, but I got
Pad and
So.
hind.
Anyway, beautiful tracks. And how is this animal moving?
Trot.
It's trotting.
Yeah.
Quick
Great.
trot. Yeah.
Yes.
Overstep.
And it's a slight overstep trot, which means it's a
slightly
faster
Yeah.
trot.
Quick trot.
Great.
Yeah. Yeah.
Cars coming.
A car sound. Cool. Beautiful. It would have been fun to watch this badger trot through.
Yeah.
And then lastly for this we had, so these were fresh. They've aged since we have been here in the sun, and so I was asking the difference between, and you guys are fine. Whoever, Olio and Tom, I've got you down. You're fine because you said the right thing. You said that this track was fresher than this, and you were correct. Everyone else I asked who was fresher, or however you wanted to say it, this track or this track, and everyone said that the badger is fresher.
Yeah.
How come?
Because here you have filled up with all kind of sand particles, and it
Beautiful.
was also the case in the other boar tracks. And if you look at the badger tracks, none of them has been filled in with dust or
Beautiful.
any particles. That was my
Great.
my
Excellent.
thinking.
And the coloring as well, because this kicked out sand was
Yeah.
what now you can't see it anymore because it was darker.
Great.
when
So,
we-
but you say this one is fresher.
No.
Oh,
no,
okay,
no, no,
okay, I
no, no.
misunderstood you.
No,
Yeah,
this
so-
one is fresher.
yeah.
This
Later.
is the freshest animal in
Ah,
here.
okay.
And so you guys are,
Yeah,
that's
but
why I'm saying
no,
you guys
yeah.
are
Oh yeah, okay.
Everyone
Of-
got this right.